that's not us. There we go. Okay, there we go.
Here we be. We have found us.
All right.
And we are there. Awesome. Well, hello everyone. I'm Russ.
I'm Mark.
And this is a spirited endeavor.
But not a Priming the Pump edition.
No, it is not. Which,
Thank
I
goodness.
could probably save that in my sleep at this point.
I know, right?
It's been kind of a thing. But yeah, we've been a little busy.
Busy. Yeah. And I think we're missing one. Yeah.
Yeah. But wait, there's more.
Yeah, I know there really is.
Better than again.
Ooh.
Yeah. Small pours tonight.
Very small pours.
Up until now.
Up until this last one.
We don't have to be coherent for this show.
Yeah, I know, right? In fact, it's probably better if we're not.
I was going to say, I don't think you guys have come to expect otherwise.
Yeah.
So, we do priming the pumps in advance, and we release them on a schedule every Tuesday and Thursday. And based on our schedule and what's already been uploaded, by the time we've gone through our scotches and our bourbons and all that, we're going to be coming up on St. Patrick's Day. So,
yeah, we really are.
There's a bit of a trend here.
Yeah, we got a
Don't know if you picked up on that.
Yeah, I know, right? Those are the Irish whiskeys, and we have one Irish American whiskey.
Yes.
Yeah, and man, what a fun run up tonight.
It really was. And the thing, I will say that Irish whiskeys, at least what I've experienced with Irish whiskey, which is what we have here and maybe a few others, but they, you know what to expect with them, and generally you're going to get that. Yeah. They don't stray too much.
They do not. So, and what we found too is, and some of them did not stray very much. Mm-mm. So certainly the Donegal, the Tullamore Dew, mm-hmm. the Redbreast, the Jameson, were all pretty typical.
Yeah.
But then when we got to the, I can't even recall the name of this thing now, the Wild Geese, and then certainly the American, which is the AWS.
I think the Wild Geese is probably the outlier for me. The ASW we've had before, there were certain expectations with it. The Wild Geese, on the other hand, was a totally new thing for us. And, something that we both, or that I picked up on, and I think you might have felt the same way, is the bottle looks kind of gimmicky, the box is real flashy, and there wasn't a whole lot stated, at least on the bottle, concerning the actual whiskey. It's like, okay. But, wow. That's a damn good whiskey.
Oh, yeah. We actually should probably take our shamrocks off, because we are not running up now.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Sorry, we don't mean to offend.
Yeah.
Actually, we very much mean to offend.
I was going to say that's kind of the norm.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was a lot of whiskeys tonight.
That was. Fortunately, small pours, the vast majority at 40% ABV, makes it a little bit more manageable. However, this one kind of
whooped everybody's ass.
And I got to say, that ABV stood out.
Yeah, I'm still drinking that one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and we had small pours tonight, and
small 40% pours.
Yeah, so fun stuff tonight.
Yeah, agreed.
And the Irish whiskey, I mean, it's a long tradition of whiskey making. It's certainly celebrated in the community and everything too. What I find too is typical, with Irish whiskey, or at least what we've run into so far, and I'm sure there's a lot of outliers, is that they have a very typical flavor profile.
Yeah, agreed.
You're getting your shortbread cookie, you're getting a little maltiness, you get, a little bit of vanilla sweetness in there too, and it doesn't stray real far. It's kind of like Canadian whiskey.
You have a pretty good idea what you're going to get.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Even bourbon, has got a very narrow profile.
Yeah, I think there's probably more variability with bourbon than there is with Irish. Now, there's an interesting bit of history, and it's kind of a funny story, actually. And so, I think it was Andrew Coffey, the last name was Coffey, came up with a new still idea. And the coffee still is what ended up becoming the column still.
Oh.
And column stills are really good at producing a crap ton of alcohol. Mm-hmm. It's really efficient when compared to a pot still. And he went to Ireland and approached them with it. some of the distilleries in Ireland, and they were not interested. They wanted to stick with their pot stills. They turned it down. So we went to Scotland. In Scotland, well, if you know anything about Scots, they're thrifty. And they said, what, more productivity? Sure. So as a result, the column stills, or the coffee still, was accepted in Scotland where it was not in Ireland, which is a funny thing.
It is a funny thing. But what's really interesting about Scotch is Scotch has a much wider flavor profile.
It does. It does.
Does the column still bring out additional flavors in there, or
the column still comes into play with blended Scotch.
Okay.
So like your pick any blended Scotch really. Johnny Walker uses a column still. So generally that's going to be grains like corn, stuff like that, and then they'll mix in some barley, so on and so forth. So a single malt, the coffee still or the column still is not in any way, shape, or form involved generally. But when you start getting into blends, that's when you start seeing that column still or coffee still. And it does, it's more efficient. You don't have to clean it as frequently, so on and so forth. And you get more product over a given amount of time, which makes more money. But there is a different sweetness that brings.
Yeah. Very interesting.
But I always thought it was kind of interesting that Ireland turned it down, but Scotland on the other hand is like, yes! So, anyhow, cool little story.
Ireland's all like, get out of my fucking country.
Yes. I could see that.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good. I want another sip of this.
I'm kind of curious to go back to that now.
Yeah, let me.
Now that I've had a little bit of the ASW, I'm curious to see how that holds up.
Yeah. So this one was a surprise for us. The Wild Geese. This is the Irish Soldiers and Heroes edition. And
while you're talking about that, I'm going to grab that.
Yeah, grab the box.
Because it is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's a cool story on there. And so this was named after. Ireland, a lot of, if you were a rabble rouser.
That never happens.
Yeah, which never happens with Irish. Never, I've been there, and we weren't ever invited to go to a game with the Irish people just so we could start a fight.
No, God, no, that doesn't sound Irish at all.
No, and even a little bit too. So in 1691, Ireland was torn by injustice and natural disaster. The soldiers and refugees who were forced to set sail on ships for other lands became known as the Wild Geese. Through oppression and famine, they created a beautiful dream, freedom for everyone. So the tasting notes on this Irish whiskey. Okay, so the nose. Okay, all right. Let's see if we got if we were even close. The nose is clean, smooth, and sophisticated. There's hints of oak interwoven with slight mustiness. We got the mustiness for sure. On the higher notes of ripe summer berries. Now we didn't get berries.
No.
We got.
It was like a little bit of a sweetness, but I don't know that I would have called it berries.
Yeah, for sure. The taste and finish: finely balanced whiskey, smooth and excellent body, peppery, spicy, malty oak, and complex sweetness. I'd say we hit that right on.
They did not lie.
A hint of vanilla and lingering earthiness. Yeah, and there was certainly that malty note to it that we really liked. The finish is long and the palate is very satisfying.
Yeah, I would agree with a lot of that actually.
Yeah.
Which that's unusual by itself.
Yeah, and this is really cool. I kind of want this as a tattoo. There's a sword going through a heart, and then the word "untamed" on it, and I just dig that.
We are definitely untamed.
We are untamed. Well, except for the taming.
There is that.
Yeah.
The spousal units may say otherwise.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, see, now I really do get that maltiness on there. It really does have that nice. I'm now that they mention it, I am getting a little bit of barrel, a little oak influence in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the star of the show. For me, I think that musty nature is more the star for me.
Yeah, that's way in the back, but it's there.
Oh, absolutely. There's nice complexity to this one. It's not dark, but it's got a lot of different things going on.
Yeah, what I'm not getting on that is the berries.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit. Yeah. I think that was more of like a zest, almost like a lemon zest.
I'm inclined to agree with you on that.
and it has that leathery note. Certainly the leather on the nose, and that's probably that maltiness.
Yeah.
But it sort of came across as like Wilson's leather.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's only one other whiskey that we've had that was like that, and it was a Japanese.
I'm going to say that is my favorite Irish whiskey that we've had thus far.
I have to agree with that.
And I would say this is in the ballpark, but I don't consider it an Irish whiskey because it's not made in Ireland.
Yeah, it's
but
not,
it's kind of.
But it's about the best tasting Irish whiskey.
It really is.
Yeah, it's American whiskey that's that's here local in Atlanta, named for Druid Hills. You know, of course, Druid Hill. Druids have a long tradition in Ireland.
What amazes me about that one, however, the Wild Geese, is just how pale that is.
I know, right?
That to me is really cool. Now that
that is a very pale whiskey.
It's funny, coming into this, you think, okay, dark whiskey means more age, more flavor, so on and so forth. And what we found oftentimes is the paler whiskeys tend to be more interesting. The folks that aren't doing color added and so on and so forth, oftentimes you're going to get a pale whiskey like this with a crap ton of flavor.
Yeah, and I like the Tullamore and the Jameson. It would surprise me if they were color added because they're trying to maintain a flavor profile. Sure. They're trying to maintain the color. You want consistency with this. These are big brands. So they're trying to maintain a certain profile that when you drink a Jameson, you get that whiskey.
It's funny. One of the guys that I get together with for the shooting, he's also real big into whiskey, and we were talking about this.
They shoot things.
Yeah, we shoot things with little pieces of lead. But we were talking about that actually, and one of his favorite whiskeys has color added and is chill filtered, and it just tastes good. And at the end of the day, I think that's really what matters. Most people, when they go, let's say you have a particular whiskey that you really like, whether it's, I don't know, an ASW or for that matter a Jameson or whatever. And imagine if every time you went and bought a bottle, the taste was a little different, the color was a little different. You might get a little ticked off about that, especially if the first bottle you bought is one that you really enjoyed and you wanted more of that.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a part of me that kind of gets it. It's like, all right, you want that consistency so your customers always get what they're looking for.
Yeah, there's big bucks in blending whiskey.
Yeah.
That you certainly the master blenders on that. They have a very specific profile. They're trying to they're blending. There's a lot of variation from year to year, and they're trying to maintain that flavor profile within like 5%. It's pretty narrow, and there's an art to that.
There is. Yeah, and a lot of the master distillers are women now.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the sensitivity or their taste buds versus men, apparently.
You're saying men aren't sensitive?
I've heard rumors.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to just plead the fifth on that one.
Yeah, the fifth dimension.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got here. So, Mom says, good evening, gents. Aren't you all pushing this season a bit with the Shamrocks? No.
There's a reason.
There's a reason. It'll be coming out. So Jim says, howdy.
Howdy, Jimbo.
Hi, Jimbo. Mom says, everyone wish Mark's Irish twin an early happy birthday today. Well, or happy birthday. Yeah, it's not his birthday yet.
Yeah.
I don't get to call him an old man until Monday.
Let's not push our luck.
All right, and then Jimmy says, I took the berries. All right.
That's where they went.
Oh, so you got the berries.
That's the guy.
All right, that's
Jimbo's
the guy.
been paying
That's the guy
attention.
right there. That guy.
Yeah, so just to review, so we do our priming the pumps, we release them on a schedule, and based on our schedule and what's already out there, if we record this particular Irish whiskey episodes, now they will release just in time for St. Patrick's Day.
I know, pretty interesting how that happens.
They're clever. Yeah.
Clevas.
Despite ourselves sometimes.
I know, right? And we were Irish playing, and we were cute as fuck, and that was awesome.
There is that. And we look good in green. I mean, what can I say? We look good in green.
Except we're not wearing green.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny you say that. I was looking for a green sweatshirt, but that didn't happen.
Well, I'm green-blue colorblind, so.
Oh, okay. Well, there's that.
That's what I'm claiming. That's my excuse.
We're sticking to it.
It's not true, but yeah.
I won't tell.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
Interesting, going back and forth between those two.
Oh, I know,
the
right?
ASW and the wild geese.
You know what I'm getting on the ASW now that I wasn't getting before? Now that I've done this, is I'm getting a tobacco note.
Yeah, I'm just noticing that.
And it's got a nice sweetness to it.
The tobacco note is reminiscent of what I got out of that Balcones.
Oh yeah,
it's very similar.
It really is. That is that's just great.
Yeah,
it almost has like a not potpourri, but more like an incense quality to it.
Yeah, I would agree.
You get that sort of that incense nature, just a little bit of spiciness.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the old timey incense, like you would get like if you went to church.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, no kidding.
Old school,
like the Catholic Church.
I gotta say, growing up in New England, we were pretty fortunate in a lot of respects. We had the old school, like Angry Penguin kind of churches with the incense and so on and so forth. And I had friends that were like old school Irish, and St. Patty's Day, that house just smelled amazing.
I know, it's true.
And it was a big event. They prepped for like 24 hours basically for that.
Yeah, Mom, name check me on this, but I remember a nun kind of back in the day, Mother Bernadette, I think her name was, and she had to be like 104.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and she was just the sweetest lady ever.
Yeah. Sister Eleanor was the one for me. I had her in 4th grade, and yeah, she was one of the older nuns, been around for eons, but she was just so cool. However, there was Sister Mary Ann, and oh my God. Yeah, I still have scars from that, both mental and physical.
Right, I gotcha.
Angry penguins.
Yep,
it's a thing.
Yep, it's the truth.
But it was cool growing up in that area and having the chance to go hang out with people that had Irish ancestry and made kind of a whole thing out of that. And the food, of course, was amazing, so there's that too.
Totally. Yeah, that was kind of a neat way to grow up, and
it was,
and certainly and part of me, in adulthood, kind of misses those days. You get the community, and things were a little smaller. Things were certainly less busy back in those days. You could really get into your community, and the church was a big part of that.
Yeah,
part of me kind of misses that a little bit, even though I don't practice or anything.
No, I'm the same way. I definitely get that. It's neat to look back at it and kind of reminisce. I don't know that I necessarily want to go back to that, but I'm glad I had that in my upbringing.
Yeah, I am too.
Where I was exposed to all the different personalities and ethnicities and so on and so forth. It was really cool.
Yeah, it really was. That was really interesting stuff, and it seemed like an obligation at the time, but we were altar boys and stuff like that, and that was that ended up being like a really important part of growing up.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I'm glad we got to do it.
That was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
Oh my
God! And we were cute as fuck as altar boys.
Yeah, I won't comment on that. I was raised Protestant and sent to a Roman Catholic school. That that went well.
Yeah.
But, again, really cool being able to reflect on that. And St. Patrick's Day is always good for me as far as that's concerned, is to kind of go back and reminisce over some of those experiences.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Even though I'm not Irish in the least bit. But, again, fond memories, so I'm just going to roll with that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, good stuff. This was a fun episode. This was a fun night.
It really was. I got to be honest, while I enjoy Irish whiskey, I'm not a huge fan. I like punchier flavors. I'm pretty consistent on that. And Irish whiskey is generally not that. However, I've really enjoyed this. There's something to be said for Irish whiskey.
Yeah, this Three Geese was the Wild Geese was certainly a standout.
Yeah.
Tonight, and that was a great find. And this is weird because I went into the liquor store, and I've not seen this anywhere else ever. But I went to one of our local liquor stores, Liberty Beverage, over here in Brazelton, and the bottle was sitting out, and it had a thick layer of dust on it. And
that's a good sign.
I know, right? And I'm like, all right. So apparently it's been there for a very long time.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't even bother dusting it off. And holy crap, man, was that a find.
It really was. Good find on that one. Now, the funny thing is, going back to the ASW, I'm getting more and more of that peppermint that I picked up on earlier.
I know, right?
I think I've kind of ruined that experience for me.
No. All right, Jimmy's talking shit now.
No, he's talking smack. I wouldn't put it past him.
All right, so he says two of those have green bottles. That is true.
Check out Jimbo.
Except it's 3.
I guess that's
the Jameson has a green bottle, the Donegal, and the Redbreast. Now the Donegal is the Paul bottle, so we don't diss on that bottle.
No, and that doesn't get reviewed.
All right, some of still are graybeard. All right, I have no idea. But he put a minion. Yeah, wearing a little rubber ducky thing.
You said something else.
Yeah, hard to tell from here.
Oh,
yeah. It kind of is. It's green. Trust us.
Don't we look trustworthy?
Yeah, I mean, we are as trustworthy as you can get.
That's right. See, green.
There's the greens right there.
Greens.
The greens.
Yeah, the greens.
I like the greenies.
Awesome. Oh, no Henry tonight.
No Henry tonight. Oh, that's right. Henry is.
Shucks.
I know, right?
Where's Henry?
Oh, geez. That's just, we're just missing him. How can we possibly go on?
Whatever happened to Henry?
Whatever happened to Henry?
He was there all the time, and then suddenly he wasn't.
He just wasn't, and I don't know why.
Something to do with chickens, I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
Something about fornicating with chickens.
Yeah, so anyhow, I guess what we're saying is if you're friends with Henry and you know Henry, pop over to his Facebook page and just leave some messages. He can't say anything in response.
Yeah, absolutely. Just throw it out there. Just be as just crazy and as raunchy as you can be.
Not saying to kick a man while he's down, but kick a man while he's down.
Yeah, he totally.
I think he'd be offended if he didn't. Anyhow, fun night. It really has been.
It really has been a fun night.
This was more interesting than I expected it to be, but it's been a damn good time.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of heritage, and with the Irish, and certainly a long and storied history, and a lot of bad things have happened, in the course of their history, and just
that
oppression.
Is very true.
That they have the spirit about them is just admirable, and I just dig the Irish. I've been to Ireland. We had so much fun there.
Oh yeah, you've got all sorts of stories from Ireland.
Yeah, they were just great. It's a great place to visit. It is green as a place I've ever seen. The one thing that surprised me is when we got off of the airport in Shannon, there were palm trees there.
Seriously?
Yeah, it doesn't ever get that cold.
But palm trees.
Palm trees. I know.
I would have been giggling hysterically over that.
I know we were. It was amazing.
That's funny.
But it was green, and the sheep in the hills and everything like that. And what they do is they put dye on the sheep, so they could tell which sheep mated with other sheep. And if you found a sheep that had multiple colors, that sheep was.
We shall say it was experienced.
It was an experienced sheep.
That's funny. I thought all the sheep jokes belonged to Scotland. I mean, that's kind of my ancestry, and I always just attributed sheep jokes to that. But apparently the Irish have sheep jokes as well.
Oh yeah, they all have sheep jokes. In fact, we're gonna do this in an Irish Scottish episode. We have shortbread cookies in the shape of sheep.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we're totally going to do that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, on William Wallace Day or something.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go. Scottish Independence Day.
That needs to be a thing. Well, we missed one already. What was it, Burns Night?
Burns Night.
Yeah, we missed Burns Night, which, I mean, shame on us for that, especially as Scotch drinkers. But we'll have to make up for that.
But it was on like a Tuesday or something like that. So
yeah,
not
it was
typical.
Weird timing.
Yeah, we should have figured that out.
They should have made that more convenient. I mean, what the hell?
All right, so Mom says Facebook must be trolling Henry. Every time he opens his mouth, he lands in Facebook jail. Have you met your son?
I was gonna say, Facebook isn't the only one that's trolling Henry. I mean, I for one.
Yeah,
I'll own that.
You raised a bully.
Yeah, apparently.
You raised a bully.
He called somebody who was not apparently a clown a clown.
I know, right? It's just...
Yeah, you can't do that. All right, guys. Well, before this goes any further, I guess we probably ought to wrap it up.
Yeah,
it's been a
sure.
damn fun night, though. And,
all right, what are we going to do next weekend?
Oh, God. Well, I imagine we drink whiskey.
We're going to drink whiskey, so that's a given.
Yeah.
Do we want to break out the wheel again?
I would say that's probably our best bet.
Yeah, I think so. We've got a few that have been collecting. We probably need to get to some of them.
Yeah.
So we'll break out the wheel of indecision and throw some bourbons around that.
We will figure it out, and we will use the most high technology method to do so.
Yes, the wheel has been laser calibrated.
Yes, that's right.
And I've greased
military grade technology.
I know, right?
Meaning it will fail any minute now.
Yeah, the bearings have been greased.
That's right.
Yep. So we're ready to go on that.
Cool. All right. Well, it sounds like we have a plan. Everyone, thanks for joining. It's been a good time.
Yeah, we had a blast tonight.
Take care.
Hope you did too. Okay. Bye.